All right, section 11.2, apply transformations to data. Okay, this one will be quick, I promise. So we've already done mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation. We're going to do the same types of things today, but we're going to transform them. And if you'll remember, transformations have to do with sliding things around on a graph. So what we mean by that is we're going to do the same thing to everything in a group of data. So let's just look. In this case, real quickly, I've got the numbers 7, 12, 16, 20, and 20. Of those 5 numbers, the mean, if you take the mean of all of those, you're going to get 15. The median is 16. The mode is 20. The range is the difference, remember, from the largest to the smallest, and that's 13. And the standard deviation, that's if you take the 7 minus the 15, square it, and then 12 minus 15, square it. So remember doing that? All right. So if you do all of that, then the standard deviation is 5. Now, if I take each of those numbers, and for whatever reason, I'm going to increase each of them by 10, then my numbers now are going to look like this: 17, 22, 26, 30, and 30. These are the same numbers with an increase of 10 for each one. Now, if I do that and then do the mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation again using these new numbers, my new mean is 25, the median is 26, the mode is 30, the range is 13, and the standard deviation is 5.0. Now, the reason I didn't have you do that, I just want you to look to see the point of this is to look at the comparison. So if you'll look, the difference between your mean is 10. We added 10 to each of our numbers of data, so we ended up adding 10 to the mean. Makes sense, right? The same with the median. Now the median is still in the same place, but it is increased by 10, and it becomes 26. The mode is the same. It's the same type of thing for the mode. The mode is still the one that appears the most, still appears the most, but those numbers now have been increased by 10. So the mode was increased by 10. Now, if you'll notice, the range, remember, represents the distance between the largest and the smallest. So if all of them increased by 10, the difference stays the same. So if you're on a number line and you're right here and the difference is from here to here, and then you increase everything the same, you're moving that whole set of data over here, but the difference between the largest and smallest is the same. So the range doesn't change. The range stays the same. The standard deviation also stays the same because that, remember, indicates how they're clumped together. Well, they're clumped together the same. They're just shifted on the number line, but the clumping is the same. The distance from the middle is the same. All right? So here's your generality. If a constant is added to every value in a set, then the mean, median, and mode are found by adding that same constant to each of them, and the range and standard deviation don't change. Easy enough, right? Okay, so hopefully you've got all that written down. If not, pause real quick and get it written down because I'm going to put a problem up. So here's what we want to do. I've got the weights of 5 people are these: 138, 142, 155, 140, and 155. At the end of the month, we find out that each of them has lost 3 pounds. So what I want you to do is, I want you to find the mean, and now remember, I haven't been using this, and I thought, oh, I need to start using it so you remember what that means. The mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation. I want you to find those amounts at the beginning and at the end of the month. All right? So if you think you got it, you go ahead quick and see if you can get ahead of me. And here we go. Oh, let's use blue because I like blue. All right, so the mean, what we're going to do, get your calculators out. You're going to add them all up and then divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those numbers added up, 138, 142, 155, 140, 155. You should end up with 730. There are 5 of them, so you're going to divide by 5. And so when you divide 130 by 5, you should get 146. So your mean at the beginning of the month, the average of those weights is 146. All right. The median, mode, we want the range, and we want the standard deviation. Okay, so the median, remember, is the middle. However, don't forget, we can't just go to the middle. We've got to put them in order. So 138 is the smallest, and then 140, and then 142, and then 155, and then 155. Now when we go to the middle, 1, 2, 3, 142 is your median. The mode is the one that appears the most. 155 appears 2 times, so 155 is your mode. The range is the difference between the largest and smallest, so 155 minus 38. Can you do it in your head? Can you do it on your paper? Do you have to use your calculator? 17 is the range. And then the standard deviation, just for the sake of time on the DVD, woohoo, on this video, I'll talk you through while you do it real quick. So you're going to take each number, 138 minus, don't forget the 146, 138 minus 146, square it, and then 142 minus 146 squared, 155 minus 146 squared, 140 minus 146 squared, 155 minus 146 squared. Take all of those amounts, add them together, divide by 5, take that fraction and take the square root, and you should end up with a standard deviation of 7.46. Now, that's at the beginning of the month. Now, at the end of the month, each of them has lost 3 pounds. So here's your choice. You can either go in and change each of these by subtracting 3 and then work all of these problems again, or you know that if you take, you know already that your range and your standard deviation are going to be the same. So this is after, so beginning and the end. So at the end of the month, you're going to simply take 146 was the average before, take 3 off, so 143 is your mean. That's your new mean. And you're going to take the median, and 142 was your original at the beginning, so 139 is your new one. And your mode is going to be 152, 155 minus 3. Your range, and don't forget, when you've subtracted 3 pounds. I went the wrong way the other time. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you subtracted 3 pounds, but your largest and smallest are the same distance apart, so your range is still 17. And yay, guess what? You don't have to do all of that dividing and squaring and subtracting and phew. The standard deviation is going to be the same because they're going to be clumped in the same way. So 7.46 is your new standard deviation. You're done with that problem. Woohoo! Now, what happens if you want to multiply each of those by something? And in this case, what we're going to do with these is we're going to change. These were all weights in pounds. What if we want to change all of these weights to kilometers? And a kilometer is, I think 1 kilometer equals, or what kilometer? Kilogram. 1 kilogram, I believe, is 0.45 pounds. So there's your conversion number. So 1 kilogram is 0.45 pounds. So if you want to find out, okay, well, we've got pounds, how do we get to kilograms? So if you can multiply each of those. And did I go the wrong way? Is it kilograms? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So you can, what happens is this. You're going to multiply all of them. The range is also going to change because when you're multiplying those numbers, the numbers are going to be different. They're not going to just shift, but they're going to be a ratio. So the range and the standard deviation also is a ratio. So here's what you're going to see. Make sure you have in your notes. If the numbers in a set are multiplied by a constant, find mean, median, mode, range and standard deviation by multiplying by the constant. All right, easy. So what you're going to do is grab your calculator and let's just do these real quick. So these are in pounds. To change them to kilograms, you're simply going to take 146 times 0.45. And when you do that, 146 times 0.45, then you're going to say that the mean in kilograms is 65.7. And this is at the beginning. We're just going to figure them for the beginning of the month. So the median of the 142 pounds in kilograms, you would just take 142 times 0.45, and you should end up with 63.9 kilograms. You see what I'm doing? So the mode is now going to be 155 times 0.45 would be 69.75 kilograms. The range, instead of being 17 apart, you're going to take 17 times 0.45, and the range now is going to be 7.65 kilograms. That's the range between the largest and the smallest. And the standard deviation now, you're going to multiply 7.46 times 0.45, and your new standard deviation is 3.36. All right, so that's all you're going to do today is, did you add something to these numbers or did you multiply by them? If you add them, then all you're going to change are the mean, median, and mode to get a new set of data. If you multiplied those that data, if you multiplied the pieces of that data, then you're going to need to multiply each of your statistics by the same constant. All right. I think that's all for today. That was a quick, easy one. Enjoy. See you next time.